Hey guys, this is Justin at Black Module Studio, bringing you tutorial number 5 in my Unity Unity 3D tutorial series. Like I mentioned last video, I'm kind of doing a little segue. This is kind of like a sub-tutorial. It's still going to be within Unity, but we're going to create a voxel terrain within Unity. Or at least attempt it. And the last video we created or rendered an actual voxel, and in this one we're going to kind of get the beginnings of a chunk down. It's not going to be optimized, it's just going to be a single chunk, and we're just going to kind of progressively build onto it throughout this tutorial series. So let's go ahead and get started. Pop open Unity, and let's see. First off, like always, I'm going to go and duplicate this scene, make sure it's open, and yep, we're good to go. I'm actually going to remove the world gen script for now. Don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet. And then let's go and create another folder for tutorial 5. Now we will be using the scripts from tutorial 4, and we're going to be modifying those, but then in tutorial 5 we are going to create a new script we're going to call chunk. Boom. Alright, so let's go ahead and open this up. Bring it over here, it was on my other monitor. And then we're going to go ahead and open up these two scripts as well. Our voxel and our world gen. So to start with, chunk is similar to voxel, not going to inherit mono behavior, therefore we're not going to have these functions either. And world gen, we're not going to be creating a voxel, we're actually going to be creating a chunk. So we'll say chunk, and let's see, we'll just call it chunk. And then in the start function, it's going to be pretty similar. We're just going to say chunk equals new chunk. Oops. Chunk. We're not going to need chunk.start. I don't know why I did that with voxel last time, because obviously we can just use our constructor. So we're going to turn this into a constructor also. Voxel. There. That's a constructor now. Let's go and minimize this, because most of this code we're not going to touch. Alright, and so now in the chunk, what we want is we're going to have a three-dimensional array of all the voxels that are in the chunk. We're also going to need to denote the size of the chunk, the width, height, and depth, which we'll use as the indices for the array of voxels. And I think that's about it for right now. So let's go and create width, height, and depth. And then we'll create our voxel array, three-dimensional, and we'll call it voxels. And let's go ahead and make our constructor. What we'll say is width equals, let's see, we'll say 5 for now, just keep it small. This is not going to be optimized, so we don't want to make it all big and laggy on our first go around. And then we'll go ahead and initialize the voxels array. So voxels equals new voxel, and we'll say width, height, and depth. And then we will call a function that we're going to create called build chunk, and that's just going to build out the chunk. So we'll just go and make it private, void, because we're not returning anything, build chunk, and we're going to have 3 for loops. So int I equals 0, I is less than width, I plus plus. Alright, and let's go and copy that. Twice. and this will be J, and then K, and then we need our height and our depth. Boom. Alright, there's our 3 for loops, nested for loops. And then what we'll do is we'll say voxels ijk is going to be equal to new voxel. We'll say new vector 3 ijk. Those are not commas. There we go. Alright, so now remember we created a constructor, or converted the start function in our voxel class to a constructor. What we're going to do with that constructor is pass in a vector, and that's going to hold the position of that specific voxel. Last video we had 1 voxel, so we didn't need to worry about the position. It was just by default at 0, 0, 0. So now we're actually going to pass in the position. So in voxel, let's go ahead and create a vector 3. We'll call it position. And then right here, we're going to say vector 3 POS for the position. And we'll set position equal to POS. Oop. And then what we need to do is basically add position to each of these sizes right here. So go ahead and just control clicking in all of these. Position.x plus. And the same thing actually here. I just realized I missed one of those when I control clicked. We'll fix that in a moment. Alright, and then this is going to be Z, and then this will be Y. Position.x plus. Alright. Now for what we're going to do, let's get rid of just some of this space. Oop, what did I do? There we go. And so let's see. Got our voxels set up. So world gen, going to create a new chunk, then chunks, we're going to go through and build it out. Oh, I think we're already done. This looks like it's just going to be a short one, I guess. So now what we need to do is through a world gen, we'll just put it on our main camera. It can go on pretty much any object for now. Click start, and oop, we messed something up. Let's go and head back into voxel real quick. Here we go. Had position.x on all those. X, Y, and Z. Okay. Now that looks to be right. Let's go and try this again. There we go. Oop, let me go into the scene. So now as we can see, these are all actual different chunks. Or sorry, voxels. It's a 5 by 5. So we created our first chunk. And there we have it. So in the next video we will possibly I'm either going to do some more optimizations to this, or we will go ahead and just do multiple chunks. I'll have to take a look at it, but that should be coming out soon, possibly tomorrow even. We'll see. Gotta figure out what I want to actually do. But anyways, so that's it. We have all of our chunks. I might end up throwing in an actual object name instead of saying new game object on all these, but yeah, that's about it. So if you guys have any questions or comments, as always, please go ahead and feel free to post in the comments down below, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Thanks.